Hello Stampers, Michelle Zindorf here. I've got another fun project for you today. This one is using the Prairie Grass stamp set from Stampin Up. Here's that stamp set. I just love the stamp set, and then it's an online exclusive with Stampin Up. It's not in the catalog, and I have a link to it below this video. Just click more under the description. You'll see the links there for all the products that I use, plus all the dimensions for the card. So this is my third project with this stamp set. I like to do three projects for a stamp set to give you some ideas on what to do with it when you get it. So this is the third one that we're going to do today. And this was the first one. And this was the second one. So see, they're all so different using the same stamp set. So we're getting lots of use out of this. And those other two videos you can find on my YouTube channel, so check that out. So we're going to get started on the main panel, and we're going to go step by step through this. So play along with me if you'd like. Our first piece of cardstock here, our main panel, is 3.5 by 4. It's basic white. So we're going to start with our sky. And I'm just going to take a Post-it note. Now I have a 3 by 5 Post-it note here. And I'm going to mask off all but, I'm going to say like 1/3 of the cardstock. And if you line the Post-it note up with the side of your panel here, you'll get a straight horizon line. There we go, and that's what we want. We don't want our water to go downhill anyway. So that's just a little tip to line it up against your cardstock, and then you have a nice straight horizon line. So we're going to start with Peach Pie and a blending brush. And we're going to use that, and we're going to do a circular motion here along the Post-it note edge. And this is our bottom of our sky where it will meet our water. And I'm using a circular motion so I don't have like just a straight line across like you would if you did back and forth motion. So that is our sky there at the bottom. And then I'm going to bring in Azure Afternoon. I love this like really sky blue color. And I'm going to use a blending brush with that also. And this we're going to put at the top of our cardstock here. And again, I'm using that circular motion. I'm just going down into that peach pie just a bit. There we go. So there is the top of our sky. And you can blend it in some together if you like, and that gives you like another color in there. All right, so we have that in there. And then I'm going to bring in basic black here. I'm going to do this while we just got a couple colors on here. It's always I always feel like it's sometimes risky to stamp on your scene after you have it all done. So it's kind of nice if you do it like at the beginning. That way, if you find that you don't like the way you stamped it, etc., then you can just flip this over and start again without having too much time wasted. So I'm not perfect at stamping sentiments, and I know a lot of people struggle with that. So that's why we're doing it at the beginning. And plus you have that Post-it note there to kind of line things up. There we go. There is our sentiment in our sky. So we have that all done and out of the way. I had to stand up to do that. I don't do well stamping when I'm sitting down if I want something straight. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to take this off, and we're going to put our water in next. So I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to put this on and just have a tiny bit of that sky showing, like 1/16 of an inch. Just a tiny bit showing above that Post-it note. So that we have our sky mask. Now, if we cover the entire bit of color for our sky with our mask, what we'll end up getting is a white line in between our water and our sky. So that's why I left just a little bit of that sky showing, so we don't have that problem. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some Azure Afternoon. Now I don't want to do a back and forth here again. I want to do a circular motion, and I'm going to do some little dips here and there so our water isn't just like one big stripe. And I want to leave plenty of room down here, so I'm doing my water like a third of the cardstock. We did our sky a third, our water a third, and then our ground probably a third, maybe a little more than a third there. So there is our Azure Afternoon. Now I wanted to blend some of this Peach Pie into the top of our water here, just so our water isn't just all one color. That orangey color of the peach pie and the blue, there's enough yellow in this orange that it kind of looks green. So we get that without even adding another color to our palette here. Okay, so we have those colors in. Now I'm going to turn this back around, and we can take this off at this point because we're not going to be going up against the sky. So see, we have water and sky. I love these projects with water and sky. They're so simple to put together, yet they look so intricate when you start to do them. So I'm going to use crumb cake here, and that's going to be our sandy part of our design here. Let me get a good blending brush. These blending brushes, when they get a lot of color on them, it's hard to tell what's what. Okay. So we're taking crumb cake here, going to do a circular motion, and we're just going to go up and kind of kiss that Azure Afternoon. There we go, and that's our ground. It's our foreground, and then it meets the water. There we go. Got that. So that was crumb cake. All right, so now I need another Post-it note. And I'm going to start by putting a Post-it note here, and I just want, I'm going to say a ½ inch of that, our sandy part of the scene, showing above the Post-it note. And I'm going to start stamping these grasses. Now I'm just kind of stamping part of the grasses to where they almost come to the top of the water, but not quite. So a lot of this image is actually going to be on our Post-it note. And I'm going to use our black again here. And I'll give it a stamp. Now you can double up on these stamps if you want to. There we go. That gives us quite a bit more stamping. Now I'm going to take this off. See how we just have like grasses growing out of the sand just by having that Post-it note there. So I'm going to lower this Post-it note here. Come down about a ½ inch more. I'm going to use that same image, and I'm going to stamp on this side here. And I want to do it really low. So we just have a few coming over, and I don't want to meet that other grassy area. I want a little bit of an area in between them. Okay, so there is that. So now I want to get some color in, like a shadow for our grass. So I'm going to take this Post-it note and I'm going to turn it upside down. And I just want to show a little bit of that grassy area there underneath our Post-it note. So this is the sticky part. I'm going to take that Pecan Pie This is the Pecan Pie ink, and I'm going to kind of do a circular motion here with the tip of my brush. And get some color there. Okay, then I'm going to take this Post-it note off. I'm going to do the same thing for our other little grassy area. Just a little bit of that grass showing. And a little bit of this Pecan Pie. Okay, so we have two different little areas there now. And I want these to look like little hills. So I'm just going to add some over here to the side coming down. And I'm going to add some to this side coming down off the edge there. So we have like two little hills here. All right, moving right along. Now I have a strip. We're going to make our little pillars here, or pylons. They're called pylons, I think, for our little scene here. We need two of them. And so I cut a little Pecan Pie strip of cardstock here. And this is, let's see, it's 3/8 inch wide, so it's not very wide. And I have it 5 1/4 inch long. Now we probably won't use all of this because we're going to do some tearing. So we need two pylons out of this piece of paper. So I'm going to tear this top part slanting down to the right. And then I'm going to come down. Let's see how far we need it, because I want it to not go all the way up to that horizon line. I want it down below the horizon line, and I want it down below our grass just a bit. So I'm just going to kind of measure it out, give it a little fold there. And I want this side to tear from the right down to the left. Just like that. Now this is going to be following our little hill down here for our pylon. I think I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. So if you have a really rough edge, you can tear it a little more. It's all good. We want it to look like it's going down into the sand. So that's our first one there. Now I want another one. And we already have a little torn edge there. So I'm going to turn this upside down. And I want this to be a little short pylon. So I just ripped some of that off. And this is 1 1/4 inch, not very long. And I'm going to put it up here like this. So now we have our two little pylons that we can use. We still have some of this left over. So these do not have to be perfect. They're like, you want them to look like old wood. We're going to put a shadow on them. I have them the way I want them here. And I'm going to put some color on. So I'm going to add some black here. This is that Memento Tuxedo black. And I want a shadow on the right side coming down this Pecan Pie strip. There's one. And so I'm putting the shadow like on half of the little strip there. And there's our other one. Super simple. Then on the taller one, I just want it to look like there might be some rope or something on there. So I'm going to use the fine end of this Stampin' Blend marker. This is the dark basic black. And I'm going to add 2 lines. Okay, that's all there is to making those little pylons. All right, so now I'm just going to glue these on. I think I'll glue that one right about there. I'm going to use some multi-purpose glue here. Add this on. There we go. And they can be crooked. You can put them on to where they're a little crooked if you want to. I'm going to put them on to where there's like an even slope here at the bottom of them. A little bit apart. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And that didn't take hardly any effort at all. So there is our scene, and our sentiment's already on there. We're good to go. Okay, so I want to stamp the inside of my card. This says, sometimes life is just too hard on the front. And so the inside says, you're not alone, I'm here for you. So we're going to use that stamp in our Memento Tuxedo Black and stamp the inside of our card. And this is a piece of Pecan Pie. It's 4 by 5 1/4. We've got our sentiment stamp here. And we'll just give it a little stamp. There we go. So we have that on. So that is all our stamping that we're going to do. Now we just need to put our card together. Now I'm going to put our main panel on a piece of basic black. This basic black is just 1/8 of an inch larger than our main panel, so it's just got an itty bitty border going around it, but it's enough to really draw the eye into your scene. So there we go. Just going to glue this on, center it up here. Okay, we got that on. And then we're going to take our main card base here. This is basic black and it's 5.5 by 8.5. Then I folded it in half to create our quarter card. And we're going to put our Pecan Pie panel in here that we have stamped. Let's add some love in there. There we go. Just center it up here. The inside. And now I have a piece of corrugated pumpkin, I keep on wanting to say pumpkin, it's Pecan Pie cardstock. This cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, this new mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. I love this embossing folder. So I wanted my lines to go up and down. So when I placed it in here, I put it sideways. But then I'm going to run it through my machine this way so my embossing folder doesn't get bent up. So I tend to always look for this, and when this is at the bottom of the embossing folder when you're putting it in, I know it's going the right direction. So I've already did that. And now I want to put just a piece of ribbon on this. And I have the Peach Pie ribbon. This is cute. It's got a little stitch along the edge. It's really pretty. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this a little longer than that panel is. And then I'm going to put it where I want it. I want to come in about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to use mini glue dots and just adhere those ends to the back of this panel. Really make sure that you smush that ribbon into that dot, mini glue dot, so that it sticks in there well and you don't have to worry about it coming off. So here's one for the other side. Really push it in there. And there we have our ribbon. Now I'm not putting a bow or anything on this. I just wanted that stitched ribbon on there just for that line. All right. So now I'm going to adhere this to our card front. When I put this on, I'm going to put glue on this, and I'm going to kind of scribble my glue around the edge because you have this up and down pattern. And if you don't do that, then you might end up just hitting the low parts of the embossing. And then what will happen is it won't adhere to your card front well. So I did just a little scribbling of the glue on the back. And this is going to go all the way over to the left-hand side of the card. There we go. And this I'm going to put on here. And I'm going to put some of this on, but I think I'm going to scribble some so that I make sure that I hit the tops of the peaks of that embossed panel. There we go. And this, I want the main panel to come over and meet the edge of that Pecan Pie embossed panel. The black is going further, but I wanted that main panel to line up with that edge of that Pecan Pie. There we have that, and I'm going to turn this over and give it all a good rub. Make sure it's all adhered down. So there is our card front, and then the inside of our card. How cute is this? So there you have it. There's today's card. I hope you enjoyed this series on the Prairie Grass stamp set. Pick it up. I don't know how long it'll be available. The online exclusives, we don't have like a time frame. I think it's just when they sell out, they sell out. They put a bunch of them on there. So pick it up as soon as you can. So here you have it. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. Toodles.